Yo, what up, everybody? This is Spectator Sporting, another quarantine edition. Today, we are doing an AFC football preview. We're going to give you our playoff teams, and we're going to give you who's going to go to the Super Bowl out the AFC. I got some special guests in the building today with me. I got Coach Marcus Floyd. What's going on, Coach?
What up? Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got my main man, Boone the Potter, in the building. What's cracking, Boone?
What's good with it? How you living?
Did he get a joint? And that's what's up. That's what's up. And of course, the architect of the whole thing, my man Ali Wally. What's happening?
I'm ready, bro.
You ready? Well, let's get into it. Don't forget to go on spectatorsporting.com, check out the show. Also go on YouTube, go to the Spectator Sporting page and check out the shows. The NFC preview is already up there, so go ahead and check it out. Let's get to it. We're talking about the AFC East. So, Adi, who's going to win the AFC East?
Well, you know what? The AFC East, man, the last time the Patriots did not win the AFC East was back in 2008 when the Dolphins won it. That's because horrific. He was hurt. He was injured, out for the season, and now he's going for good in Tampa Bay. They don't got to worry about the guy no more. Now comes Cam Newton. The man had 2 shoulder surgeries within the first 3 seasons. He seems to be recovering that Liz Frank foot fracture he had in training camp. He's around. He's happy, ready to go. But he didn't bring Chris McCaffrey with him to New England, so he's dealing with Sony Michel. That's a little drop-off right there. You know, we see what he can do, but he still has Julian Edelman. So the thing about the Patriots is no team in the NFL lost more players to that COVID-19 opt-out situation, okay? They lost their starting right tackle, Marcus Cannon. They lost their starting safety, Patrick Chung, T.I.M.E, pro inside linebacker, Donta Hightower, and 4 other. They're all gone. And so you look at the New York Jets. They just traded their best defensive player, Jamal Adams, to the Seahawks for some draft picks. And also, you get Sam Darnold and Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell had a disappointing year last year. Sam Darnold has to step it up this year. If not, a lot of people think Adam Gase is a lame duck. He's going to get fired. Look, the AFC East belongs to the Mafia, okay? Playoffs last year against the Houston Texans. They lost on that incredible play when somehow, some way, Deshaun Watson escaped a sack from their linebacker, Matt Milano, and their safety, Seren Neal. He got out of it, threw it for the first down for the game. And so, but the defense is not the problem with the Buffalo Bills. In that game, they only scored 1 touchdown, and that was by their quarterback, Josh Allen, on a trick play when he called a touchdown pass. Right? And so that's why they hit 4 draft picks, 2 Minnesota, 4 Stephon Diggs, wide receiver. The man was number 5 in the NFL in yards per catch, number 8 in the NFL in total receiving yards. All right, he's joining wide receiver John Brown and Cole Beasley, and they got a nice young coming tight end, Dawson Knox over there. And so the defense is stellar. They're led by Davius White, the cornerback. He was number 2 in the NFL in interceptions, number 2 in holding opposing quarterbacks to a 39 quarterback rating. He's his teammates, solid young teammates, middle linebacker Tremaine Edmonds and Patrick Oliver. Okay, and so the Buffalo Bills, they've won the AFC East since they had Bruce Smith sacking people left and right, and Thurman Thomas and Jim Kelly slinging it back in 1995. This division that belongs to Bills Mafia finally.
Ooh, he going with the Bills Mafia. It's going to be very interesting, this division. For the first time in years, there's no Tom Brady, and it feels like it's finally wide open in the division. We shall see what happens. Coach, tell me who's going to win the AFC South.
AFC South. Well, this is a 3-team race for the AFC South. So let's look at the champs. Tennessee Titans. I like this team. I love this team. They don't have much depth. After Derrick Henry, who got his 4 years, got his contract, 4 years, $50 million. Then they brought in Brian Tannehill, who also got 4 years, $118 million. After those two, if those two go down, I think this team could be in trouble because they don't have much at the running back. They don't have much at the quarterback after those two. I do like how A.J. Brown, he proved himself as a number 1 wide receiver. So, but we know Vrabel gonna have the defense ready. They're gonna be in every game. I just don't see them having much depth, and I don't see them repeating. Who's they're gonna fight with? Let's look at the Houston Texans. This Houston Texans team we know is very talented. Deshaun Watson, we all know is the real deal. We all wish he was wearing a Bears uniform, but that's neither here nor there. They lost DeAndre Hopkins, but although they lost DeAndre Hopkins, this wide receiver core is still pretty good. They got William Fuller. They got Kenny Stills. They added Brandon Cooks. And also, they got the very talented tight end. Thing about it is, who's going to play running back? They was able to get David Johnson in the trade for Hopkins, but Carlos Hyde also came around. We'll see right now that's up in the air who's going to be running back for the Houston Texans. I think, for that playoff spot, that wild card spot, it's going to come down to week 17, the Titans at Houston. So I said the wild card. So the winner of the AFC South will be the Indianapolis Colts. I really love this team. I love their makeup. I don't think this team if I look at their roster, they don't have many weaknesses. We see Phillip Rivers is now at the QB helm. He, in years, haven't played behind the line, and we know the Indianapolis Colts have the best offensive line in football. From there, they also have a rookie, Jonathan Taylor, who he's going to be on a lot of fantasy boards because the All-American for Wisconsin. So he's going to be competing for AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year. With that, I talked about the line. Their receiving core, we got T.Y. Hilton, we got Paris Campbell, and they drafted Mike Pittman Jr. So the receiving core is really good. Add on 2 tight ends, Jack Doyle, who came on late last year, as well as, cover your ears, they will have Trey Burton as the second tight end. The Bears tried to use him as number 1 tight end. He's going to go back to his role like when he won the Super Bowl ring as the second tight end. Now on to this defense, which I really love. They was able to pick up DeForest Buckner from the NFC champs, San Francisco 49ers. Also, the 2 middle linebackers are beasts, Darius Leonard, Anthony Walker. Then moving on to the defensive backfield, I think it's still solid. They was able to pick up Xavier Rhodes. I understand Xavier Rhodes is aging, but he still got some in the tank. His leadership should be able to help out Malik Hooker. Malik Hooker was a top draft pick. He has not proven to be that top 15 pick. They're looking for a breakout year for him. But like I said, this team from top to bottom, I love their talent. Their schedule is not as hard as Tennessee or Houston. I looked at their first 4 games. They could be 3-1, 4-1 in the first 3 or 4 games because that's another reason why I picked them, because Houston and Tennessee schedules are brutal. So my AFC South champion will be the Indianapolis Colts. Frank Wright, welcome to get a championship with your colleagues.
Hey, absolutely. Hey, that's going to be a strong division. There's some good quarterback play going in that division right now with Phillip Rivers and Deshaun Watson. So, and then Tennessee with the power running game. That's going to be a very interesting division. I can't wait to watch it. Boom. Tell me, who is going to win the AFC North? Now, we know the Ravens won it last year. Is it a team that's going to knock the Ravens off this year in that division?
Well, I'll tell you who's not going to knock the Ravens off, and that would be the Cincinnati Bengals. They got Joe Burrow. They got a nice receiver in T. Higgins, and they still got A.J. Green. They got Joe Nixon, the running back, and then that's it. So they might be fighting with the Jaguars for the number 1 pick, the worst record in the league. They might get the number 1 pick 2 years in a row. So forget about them. Now, for me, the guy who's not going to do it, now the 3rd best team in this 4-man division, I'm going to surprise some people. I'm going to say the Steelers. Now, I'm going to say, the reason why I'm saying that, because I believe that Juju Smith might have been kind of a bust a little bit. Now, this dude was a 97 ranked receiver with receptions in 2019. And they running back, James Conner, was pretty bad. Now, don't get me wrong, they did draft Chase Claypool to help Juju out a little bit, but we'll see. This dude from Notre Dame, he slipped in the draft for a reason. Now, he was in the second round. In Notre Dame, his stats was good, but there's a reason why he went to the second round. And the big reason why I say that they're not going to do it as far as fighting with the Ravens, because you're relying on Big Ben. This dude is in his 30s, all right, often injured. He's not known as a guy to be an off-season work addict. He was just bigger. He was athletic. He not really got a good work ethic. He partied in the bathroom with women, in the past and all this other stuff like that. So I don't believe that he's going to make it happen. And then if he do get injured, they back up as what? Mason Rudolph or Doug Hodges. Come on now. So I don't feel like this quarterback. Now let me say one thing about the defense. The defense was in the top 5 in points allowed, yards allowed, and passing yards allowed. And interceptions. They was number 1 overall in turnovers, forced fumbles, and rushing touchdowns allowed. All right, so they are cold. But they remind me of the 2018 Bears defense, where they had all them turnovers. They was doing all that. I don't think you can just be the number 1 defensive team 2 years in a row. It got to be a drop-off for that Pittsburgh Steelers defense. All right, so that what leads me to what I think is going to be the second team that's going to fight with the Ravens is the Cleveland Browns. All right, I'm saying this because your boy, he got help. The quarterback, he got help now. Number 1, he got a backup in Case Keenum, who I think is pretty good. But he got help with O-line. They just got over from the Titans, Jack Conklin, all right? A right tackle, all right? They already got a center in J.C. Shredder, and they got a left guard in Joe Bettani, all right? I might be saying that wrong. And now they drafted a left tackle with Jared Wills, all right? So that O-line, that's in the first round. So that O-line should be super solid. They got David Njoku at tight end, and they just got a free agency, Austin Hooper. All right, don't forget about their weapons. Wide receiver, they got Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham. Running back, Nick Chubb, who's a beast. Come on, look at his stats last year, and they got Kareem Hunt coming up for kind of a down last year, but he should be a beast as well. Everybody know what he did over there with the Chiefs. All right, now they did lose a couple of people, all right, but they still got Myles Garrett. All right, their defense is not the best thing in the world, not compared to the Steelers' defense, but his defense is still pretty good. They got Myles Garrett. He should be doing his thing. Don't forget about Denzel Ward. All right, now that's a cornerback that really lived up to the hype out of Ohio State. Now they should compete with the Ravens, but they're not going to mess with the Ravens. Look, the Ravens, they won 12 straight games last year. They beat 5 playoff teams. All right. They did lose Hayden Hurst, but they still got the tight end Mark Andrews, all right? Lamar Jackson was number 1 in touchdown passes. He was 6th in rushing yards. That's between any player in the NFL, running backs included. He was 6th in rushing yards, all right? Hollywood Brown going to be an improved wide receiver, in my opinion. Hollywood Brown going to go hard. They did get Cletus Campbell, all right, the defensive end, he's coming in, and they got defensive tackle with Derek Wolfe. All right, they got a new guard in DJ Fluker, and they got a slot corner in Jimmy Smith. The Ravens going to run away with this, but I think Cleveland Brown got a better chance of competing for that spot over the Steelers.
I feel you, but that's going to be a tough division though. Like I think you're doing a little disservice to Big Ben, just a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see how it play out.
Hey, I got one thing to say about the Ravens, man. They lost their starting safety, Tony Jefferson. He's gone. And Earl Thomas, he punched his teammate, Chuck Clark. He punched him, and they committed all this, that, and the third. And they cut Earl Thomas. They secondary took a hit. It's not going to be so easy for them guys.
But I say one thing. Their secondary was like the best in the league. Like, their secondary was flat out beastly. So they can take a little bit of hit in that situation. I mean, you look at their secondary last year, they were just crazy. Now they're a little softer, but they still should be one of the top secondaries in the league.
Well, we shall see. That is a very tough division, and I think it's going to be a little competitive in that division as well, too. So, real quick, I just want to go over this. The AFC West. I mean, is it fair to say, does anybody think I'll start with you, Coach. Is anybody in that division that can compete with the Chiefs in the AFC West?
Is there anybody in the division or is there anybody in the AFC? I don't think many teams in the AFC compete with Kansas City, but I will say that West does have a sleeper, that Denver Broncos team. I like the way they came on late last year. Vic Fangio had that defense playing well from the beginning. I don't know about the quarterback, Drew Lock. I'm not sold on him. But them bringing in Mark and them really focusing on their line in the draft, I think Vic Fangio wants to pound the ball and play defense, and I think they will be a playoff team. Will they compete with Kansas City for the title? I don't think so, but I do expect Denver to earn one of those wild card slots and be really well in the AFC West.
Same question to you, Boone. Anybody in the AFC West that can compete with the Chiefs?
I agree with Coach Marcus, man. I don't think nobody's going to compete with the Chiefs, but they're going to be battling for that second pick because you picked the Broncos, and I think the Chargers might be, doing their thing. You got a new quarterback over there. The defense still solid. So I think the Broncos and the Chargers will be battling for the second spot.
Chargers took a big hit with Derwin James. We don't know how long he's going to be out. That's a huge hit.
No question about it.
Defensive players in the league.
No question about it. Adi, same question to you, Adi. Well, anybody can compete with the Chiefs?
I really like the Raiders running back, Josh Jacobs. That guy, he came on strong. They was able to get him in the draft in the first round because of the Khalil Mack trade. That dude, he's pretty good. He's a stud. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's the Broncos, man. They made some moves. They made it for a defensive tackle, Jarrell Casey from the Tennessee Titans on the defensive line. He's going to come over there and cause them havoc because the Chiefs, they had a couple of guys opt out because of COVID-19 from their offensive line. You had Duvernay Tardif. He was a starter last year. He opted out. They also drafted offensive lineman in the third round, Lucas Niang. He opted out as well. And so the interior offensive line for the Chiefs, it got weaker this offseason. So the Broncos could take advantage of that up the middle, pressure Mahomes up the middle, and Bradley Chubb and Von Miller from the edge and give them some pressure. But I don't think they're going to win the AFC West, though. But I think the Broncos are the biggest challenger.
I'm with y'all. I think the Broncos do have, especially on defense with Vic Fangio coaching them, they're going to be so much better. I think, but I'm not sold on the offense. I'm really not sold on any team in the AFC West. I must admit, I'm not buying the Chargers. I don't like the court. I mean, we got to see what Tyrod Taylor do. It's going to be a whole different situation. And the Raiders, I mean, they are the Raiders. They do, but the Raiders do have a strong running game. I'm with you right there, Adi. They do have a studded running back. But if I had to pick a team that could, because of their defense, I'll have to go with the Broncos. So here's my picks, and I'm going to tell y'all where I agree and disagree with y'all. AFC North. Boom, I'm with you. I got the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, MVP coming off MVP year. I think he comes back strong after that playoff loss. I think he has another big season. AFC South, I'm with Coach. The Indianapolis Colts. I love what they're doing. I love their offensive line. You giving Phillip Rivers time. They also have a strong run game. Don't sleep on their run game. They got receivers that can get down the field, and they're going to be a ball possession, and they're going to give teams fits. And they have people that can get after the quarterback. I like what the Colts are doing. No question about it. AFC East. No Tom Brady, no problem. Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots will win again. Okay, they're going to win it again. Until I see somebody beat Bill Belichick in the division, you got to beat them twice in a season. I don't know when the last time the Patriots lost twice to a team in a division, but I am interested because the Bills are going to be really good, and they got a super rookie quarterback in Miami by Tua. How you say? Somebody say his name for me. Tua.
Okay. I said it wrong, but
yeah, it's all right. So, but we know we talk about the quarterback from Alabama, Tua. So the Jets, we'll see. But I like the New England Patriots. In the AFC West, I'm all in the grizz with y'all. I like the Kansas City Chiefs. Wild card teams, there are going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Buffalo Bills, and the Houston Texans. Those are my three wild card teams. So Has anybody got anything to say about my picks?
All right, look. I get you, man. I got to say this, man. I got to disappoint Marcus and Roach, man. I get the Colts out. I get the Colts out the playoffs. I got Vic Fangio and the Denver Broncos going to the playoffs. Okay, somehow, some way, the Alabama wide receiver Jerry Jeudy fell to the Broncos with the number 15 pick overall. The Jacksonville Jaguars passed on him with the number 9 pick, which was a shocker. And then with the number 12 pick, the Raiders, they passed on him for his teammate, wide receiver Henry Ruggs III, because he ran that 4.27 40 at the NFL Combine. But Jerry Jeudy is a better overall wide receiver, better hands, better route runner, better awareness. And also, the Denver Broncos, they drafted KJ Hamler from Penn State, wide receiver. This guy's 5'9", but he has blazing speed out there. Both of those rookie wide receivers are joining the 6'4" wide receiver, Cortland Sutton. This guy, he had a nice season last year. He had 1,112 yards receiving last season. He's looking to build on that year and going into his third year. The Broncos also signed the running back from the Los Angeles Chargers, Melvin Gordon. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, looking to have a bounce back year this year, joining the other running back, Philip Lindsay, who's coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing years. He's going into his third year. They got Noah Fant at tight end, but this season's all about the mysterious quarterback, Drew Lock, 2019 second-round pick. The guy, the whole city of Denver is rallying around him. Marcus might know this. He just came back from Denver. He probably saw them people loving the Drew Lock love and everything. And so, yeah, man, the guy, he started 5 games last year. He won 4 of them. He doesn't turn all over the ball a lot. He only had 3 interceptions in the 5 games. And so it's on him to see if he can one of those sneaky pickups in the type of guys. I got the Broncos going to the playoffs. The Colts out because Phillip Rivers, he was 3rd in the NFL in interceptions thrown last year. I don't trust him. And Roach, I can't believe you got the Tennessee Titans out the playoffs.
I do. I do. Like, it's the AFC South is tough this year. It was a tough call, but the AFC South, listen, I know last year they snuck up on some teams with running the ball. Teams are going to prepare for them to run the ball this year, and they're going to make Tannehill beat them. They're not going to give up the run like that. So do I believe in Ryan Tannehill? Because that's what I think is going to come down to this year. Trust me, they're going to crowd that line of scrimmage. They're not going to let Derrick Henry, even though he might still run wild sometimes, they're going to do whatever they can. They're going to put that ball in Tannehill's hand. They're not just going to let them run down the middle like that.
One thing about the NFL is you always got to play. If you win the championship in your division, you have to come back the next year and play that first place schedule. That's the thing about the NFL, and they have that first place schedule. Roach, I had 6. Me and you have 6 of the 7 teams alike.
Okay.
We have Kansas City, Baltimore Colts. I have the Buffalo Bills with Adi winning the division, and my 3 wild card teams is Denver, the Steelers, and I got the Texans over the Titans. I got the
no Patriots.
Yeah, no Patriots in the playoffs. not just for the Bill Belichick, but you also got to factor in they are missing a lot for opting. They are missing the most for opting out. Adi kind of hit on it during his piece, but they losing some big stars. Some teams got some glue guys, but the Patriots are missing some big stars for opting out.
We shall see. Boom. But how close were we, Boom?
Oh, you know what? We was kind of close. Okay, of course I got the Chiefs. I got the Colts with you. I'm picking the Buffalo Bills to win that East division. And, of course, I got the Ravens winning the North. Now, I got the Titans making the playoffs. All right, I think Tannehill is good enough. When you got 8-9 in the box, he can do a little play action, make that easy throw. He ain't no superstar. If you put 9 in the box on Tannehill, he showed many times in that playoff run. He might not throw the ball 13 times, but he put the ball on the dime. All right, so he's going to be able to beat 9 men in the box, 8 men in the box type of defense. Now, my other wild card team I got the Raiders. I'm going with the Raiders. I'm going with the Raiders over the Broncos because I believe in the coach, okay? Gruden, he had them boys balling. Now, I became a fan of Gruden when he beat the Bears in London. I'm saying, wait a minute, he got them boys pumped up. All right, team getting better. Really got a good running back. David Carr is underappreciated, undervalued. He a baller in my opinion. I got the Raiders making the wild card. And then my third wild card, of course, I mentioned it in the preview. I was all over the Browns, baby. The Browns going to make it happen. I know their defense ain't all that, but I feel like their offense is going to take off, all right? So that's my pick. I got the Colts, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Titans, and the Browns. Did I say everybody? I think I said everybody. I'm going to say it again.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got the Colts, the Ravens, the Bills, the Chiefs, Titans, Raiders, and Browns. And you're going to feel the rap. Most picked the Browns to win the playoffs, to make the playoffs last year, and they didn't do it. Every year somebody picked the Browns to make the playoffs, and they always disappoint every year.
I said that so I can get a little love, too. Now, I'm picking the Browns, and when they make it, remember this podcast, I'll pick the Browns. When they make it, and the Raiders, I'll pick two Wild Boys. And remember, that's me, all right? I did that. I predicted that.
So when they don't make it, we're gonna remember it too. But real quick, Adi, who's going to the AFC Championship game and who's gonna win?
Okay, so look, man, I got the Chiefs going to the AFC Championship game, and to disappoint, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers going to the AFC Championship game. Okay. The guy, the free safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick, okay? He was a 2018 first-round pick by the Miami Dolphins. They traded him to the Steelers last year. This guy, was number one among safeties in his interceptions, number two in fumble recoveries. He elevated that Steelers defense to the number 5 in points allowed per game, so the Steelers can focus on the offensive side of the ball. Second-round pick, Chase Claypool, 6'4", 235. A lot of teams messed up by letting him go to the second round. All right, this guy has a huge catch radius. He can get those contested catches. He's going to compete with James Washington to be that number 2 wide receiver to the 2018 Pro Bowler Juju Smith-Schuster that you was hating on. But the guy, he fell off. He had a bad year last year because he had Rudolph and a guy named Duck was his quarterback. Okay, so that's why he getting Big Ben back. Okay, and they signed Eric Ebron from the Colts, underrated signing. He had 14 touchdowns with the Colts when Andrew Luck was there. Last year, he kind of fell off because he had the mediocre quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, but now Big Ben is back. The man was number 1 in the NFL in passing yards in 2018. He said he feels no pain in his throwing arm. He's out there slinging it, feeling great, and he's going to be comeback player of the year. And then they're going to lose to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game because I like this running back they got, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Y'all gonna love him. He's a rookie, first-round pick. The guy is only 5'8". He's not very fast, but the guy does everything else very well, making people miss with juke moves, great receiver out the backfield, spin moves, everything. They're gonna love him. Chiefs go back-to-back. First team to go back-to-back since the Patriots did it in the 2003-2004 season.
I feel you. So you got the Chiefs winning it all.
Yes. I got them beating the Seahawks.
You got them beating the Seahawks. Coach, who going to the AFC Championship game and who's going to win?
As I stated earlier, I love Frank Wright and the Colts. I love how this team is built. They built on the defensive and offensive line, but I think the Mahomes and Andy Reid will be a little too much for them in the AFC Championship game, and they will not repeat. I got my New Orleans Saints over the Kansas City Chiefs. No repeat. Drew Brees is going to ride out in the sunset, retire on top.
Oh, I ain't mad at that. So Marcus got the New Orleans Saints winning the Super Bowl over the Chiefs. Boom. Who's going to the AFC Championship game and who's going to win?
All right, one little thing I want to say. The Steelers is not going to make it because their defense can't be that cold again. Their defense was phenomenal. They was mind-blowing with all the NITs. And Big Ben going to get hurt. He ain't going to last. All right, that's my bet. Hopefully, I don't want no injury on nobody. I don't think his body can hold up his hold. All right, and the defense can't do that again. The defense was phenomenal. But I got the Ravens and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. All right, it's going to be big payback. All right, Lamar Jackson and them boys going to feel that pain from losing last year in the playoffs in the early round. And they're going to go to the Super Bowl, and they're going to beat the Saints in the Super Bowl. Saints versus the Ravens. The Ravens going to win. Lamar Jackson, Super Bowl MVP. Let's get it.
Ooh, I ain't mad at that. I agree with you. I got the same AFC Championship. I feel like it's going to be some tough teams. I almost wanted to pick the Colts, but I don't know if they have to face Baltimore or the Chiefs in like a divisional round or something like that. I don't know if they have enough. I don't know if they got enough. They got enough, but I don't know if they're explosive enough because Lamar Jackson and the Ravens and the Chiefs, they once they start scoring, forget about it. It's a wrap. So we're going to get the AFC Championship game that we all wanted last year. The Ravens against the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. Patrick Mahomes wins again, goes to the Super Bowl, going for the repeat, and he will not repeat because Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson will get it done, and they will take down the Chiefs, and Russell Wilson is going to get his second Super Bowl MVP. I got the Seattle Seahawks winning it all against the Kansas City Chiefs, which will be a classic matchup, by the way.
That would be fire, though. That'd be fire. Two black quarterbacks out there doing their thing.
Yeah. So, once again, I want to thank Coach Floyd for being a guest on the show today.
Thank you. Always, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, sir. I want to thank Mr. Boone the Potter for coming on today.
I appreciate it, bro.
Howdy Waddy the architect, man, was good.
Hey, I appreciate everybody coming through.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I do as well. Make sure y'all go on Spectator Sporting YouTube page. This will be up there very soon. Plus clips. They'll be on Twitter. They'll be on Instagram. They'll be everywhere. So make sure you go ahead and check this show out, the AFC Preview. In the meantime, in between time, we out. Peace.
Raiders.